Good afternoon. Thanks for coming out today. I know there's a lot going on, but this really is an important issue. So I applaud those of us that could be here today. As you know, today is Opiate Awareness Day here in Clark County. And we'll also be having a recovery fair. We have a minimum of about 15 different vendors that are out there today. Opiate use is something in our community that hits so many families in different aspects. So whether you're actually the addict or you're the family that are trying to pick up the pieces and be there to support the addict, we want to make sure that all of those resources, those questions that you may have today, can be answered with our resource fair. This last year has been really hard on everyone, but we've also seen it for so many opiate users. We had over 660 opiate users die this last year during these tough times. So we really want to be out front, and we really want to help ensure that people have the resources that they need so that they can get back on track. Today, you'll see many of our community partners here, and we are thankful for them here in Clark County, that they're there to assist and to be a resource and to navigate you through those times. This is a personal issue to me. As many of you know, I have a daughter who has been through this process. At 16, she started taking opiates for a marching band injury, and it led to heroin and so many other things. And I'm thankful today to say that she is in recovery and working on a new process. But with that comes my 6-year-old granddaughter and her sisters and brother that have had to work through this and be able to pick up the pieces. So I know what it feels like, and I don't want any other parent, family, or friend to have to go through the same thing. So this is why it's so passionate, and I continue to be the advocate for it, because for so long, too many of us in this community did not speak out. We did not talk about what was really going on. And so here at Clark County, I'm thankful to have my other commissioners alongside of me that can really talk about how important this is to our community as a whole. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Commissioner Segerblom. And then we have some great folks here today. Mr. Will Alphin is here from Fit for Recovery, Commissioner Jones, the Health District, Brian, right? Let me get your name right. Sorry. Brandon. Sorry, Brandon. So we will, you'll hear from a lot of folks, and then we'll take some Q&A from the media so that you can help us make people aware of really where we're at. So Commissioner Segerblom.
Thank you, Madam Chair Kirkpatrick. She really said it all. The reality is that this is a huge issue that has just been exacerbated by the pandemic. But we want people to know that you're not unique, you're not alone. There's lots of us out there, and there's lots of help out there. So don't be shy. Don't feel like you can't talk about it. This is out in the open. We realize it's an epidemic, just like we have with COVID. It's something that we have to address and deal with. We're providing the resources. The people that are here today, the groups that are here today have those kind of resources. So we encourage everybody to come forward sooner rather than later, because if we can stop this early, that's the best bet. But the fact is, whatever it takes, we're here in the long run to make sure that it's taken care of. Hopefully we're going to get some resources from the state, from these lawsuits down the road. But in the meantime, we do have lots of avenues to help. So please come forward if you have a problem or someone you know has a problem. This is touching all of us, and we can't lose any more lives. Thank you. And here's Commissioner Jones.
Thank you, Commissioner Segerblom. A few years ago, I had a unique opportunity to shadow a psychiatrist who dealt with addiction and recovery on a daily basis, and it was really an eye-opener as she consulted with folks who were enduring opioid addiction. And it ran the gamut from folks who had in the 70s taken up types of drugs to the one that was, I think, the most shocking, which was a father who at work as a server, a coworker had provided him with drugs, and he became addicted and hadn't told his wife of his addiction, but wanted to get help. And I think we have this this view of what those who suffer opioid addiction is, but I think what you hear today and what you will see is that it touches lives across the spectrum. I know my wife's neighbor, unfortunately, died of addiction to meth, and then her sister, 18 months later, died as a result of opioid addiction. So just real quick, from 2017 to 2020, we've seen more than 400% increase in fentanyl-related deaths in our community. And a significant part of the problem is fentanyl being sold illegally and then mixed with other drugs. In many cases, using these drugs may not know that it contains fentanyl. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times more potent an opioid than even morphine, and a relatively small amount can cause someone to overdose. And these are just part of the issues that we face when it comes to opioid addiction. It's my pleasure to introduce Will Alphin from the Foundation for Recovery.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. My name is Will Alphin. I am the Training and Activities Coordinator. Prior to my statements, we're going to watch a short video produced by the CDC. And it is entitled, There is Hope, Recovery is Possible.
My son was 20 years old when he was prescribed opioids.
I was given a prescription opioid pain medication, and within only a few months, I was completely addicted.
There was nobody to tell me that these have a really high potential for addiction. How could I be addicted? I get these from my doctor.
My son Steve did not want to die, but his prescription opioids killed him.
We lost RJ at 32 to prescription opioid overdose.
It's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem.
One day, you're serving in the military, you come home and you're dealing with an injury, that's when it starts.
I started using when I was 13. It was like, oh, well, they're medications. They're things that are prescribed to people, so they can't be that dangerous.
I was pregnant and I had used prescription opioids. I got addicted very fast.
I really want to think the first pill was the problem.
Eventually, finding more prescription opioids is all I was concerned about.
My addiction got so strong, and my opioid misuse and need got so strong.
I couldn't stop. I was pretty bad.
I knew that this was something I had to stop for the sake of my children and for myself.
Addiction is hard. You have to reach out for help.
And in recovery, I found my purpose.
I have been able to accomplish a lot in my recovery. I just want to be happy, and I want to thrive in my life.
In my recovery is when I was like, this is who I am. This is my culture, and I'm going to practice it.
You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
There is hope. Just don't give up.
Again, my name's Will. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means for me is that I haven't used mood or mind-altering substances since May 31st of 2009. After seeing that, I'm connected very deeply to that through my recovery, but also through, I've had 3 naloxone reversals for opioid overdose myself. In April of this year, I lost my older brother to opioid-related causes, and just this morning, I got word of another friend who was in recovery that lost that battle as well to a one-time incidental use. And I'm just connected so deeply to the idea of hope, but just looking at that video, there's no standard face to opioid addiction, or there's nobody that I can think of. You don't have to look very far to find a connection to opioids. As we progress in the day, I'll be leading an opioid overdose recognition and reversal drug, the naloxone or Narcan, as it's the delivery method that I'll give is known as, and give people the opportunity to learn how to save a life, to give somebody the opportunity to find that recovery. I know for me, one of the things in the video that resonated with me was, I wanted to, when I was a kid, I wanted to build airplanes. I grew up and I did that. I did that for 20 years, and then my own opioid addiction took me away from that world. And what I found is, in recovery, was my people. And I was living the dream of what I wanted to do when I grew up, and now I feel like I have the opportunity to do what I was born to do. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm going to turn the time back over to it. Well, I wanted to thank Commissioner Kirkpatrick. The County Commission has long been champions of Foundation for Recovery and this cause, and I'm grateful for that. And I'll turn the time back over to her.
Thank you. Thank you. And what we're going to do, so we're going to, at some point, we're going to do some Q&A for the media now, and then we'll go out and we will have a community prayer, and then we will release some doves. And really, it's just a small piece of what we can do to bring awareness to this. But I want to invite Brandon up from the Health District, because maybe you could talk about where folks could get their reversal kits. The Health District has been a longstanding partner on this, and I think it's important that people know, if not today, that you get the training and get the kit, which will be streamed on Facebook and be on our website, so you can always go back and watch it. But maybe, Brandon, you could talk about where they could get the kit and how easy it is. So please step up and please help save a life. People are relying on us to be part of our community. So, Brandon.
So my name's Brandon DeLisi. I'm an epidemiologist at the Health District. But part of what I do, I distribute Narcan or naloxone throughout the community. And just to give you some data, over the past 4 years, we've distributed over 22,000 doses of Narcan. So this is something that we're very passionate about, and it's very easy to obtain. All you have to do, you can swing by the Health District, go to our pharmacy, or send an email to od@snhd.org, and we'll do a quick training and then give you 1, 2, or 3 kits of Narcan. So it's very easy to get, and with that, you have the possibility to save a life. So very, very important.
Thank you. And I would also note that Clark County in particular was one of the first states to give it to our first responders. So we've been doing that, and now everybody across the country is doing that, but we really took a leadership role, and it was with the partnership of our first responders in the Health District that ensured that that could happen. So with that, we'll take some questions, and I'll let the experts answer them if the media has any. And if you don't, it's okay, because we can go do our community prayer and really take a moment to stop and realize how important this is in our community. Questions? Okay, then let's head outside, and I encourage all of you to come with. This is to see us through.